And we are back. Welcome to the SoapBox, where people who work, volunteer, and care about recovery tell us who they are and what they're most passionate about. My name is Rich Jones, RN, and I represent parentingyourchildinrecovery.com and the home website, secondstars.com. That's number 2, NDSTARTS.com. Today, my guest is Keith Hagar. Keith is a mind and body coach for men, taking men from rage into release and from burnout into balance. Keith, hello, and how you doing today?
Thank you, Rich. I'm doing very well this evening. And yourself?
It's good. It's good. It's glad to have you here. Before we even get started, I just wanted to say, for me, your interest, my basic topic, basically it's sort of a recovery show. We branch out into other things. But to me, what you do is really a strong pillar in recovery for men. You know, men, we lag behind in a lot of self-care, lag behind desperately. So it's good to see somebody like you talking to men the way men like to hear and listen, you know. So to me, that means a lot. Keith, I start out every show by asking my guests to give me the Cliff Notes version of yourself. Tell me who you are, how you got to where you're at, the basis of what you do and why you do
it. It's a brilliant question. So, I'm originally from Oxford, the UK. I'm currently living in Greece. And over the past probably 20 years, I've worked within the fitness industry, personal training. I run my own personal training studio, nutrition, weight loss. So I've always been in that area per se. But before I even got into that, my upbringing was pretty rough. I'm going to say that. There's a lot of neglect, a lot of trauma, death in my family, suicide thought, drinking drugs, dissociation. There's been a lot I had to go through and overcome over the years, and I'm not really sure how I managed it, but I've managed it. And just over the years of my journeys, it's taken me across the world. And during that time, I've kind of obviously through my own healing and my own understanding of oneself and all the education I've been through, I started speaking to people and understanding the fact like there's a hole here. And obviously going to men's circles myself, and I started speaking to a lot of different people and men across all different ages, and a lot of things kept coming up quite similar. People felt obviously the burnout was there, they felt disconnected, lost, alone, and all these things are coming up, and I was like, I've been through this, man. People actually understand me. And so it just naturally kind of slowly fell together within the framework. Because I mean, I love what I do anyway. The personal training kind of guided there, the training, what I started doing with the holistic side of things, they started slowly melding together. And as, of course, I'm a person who likes to lead by example. So I try and at least go in there and like try something and try and heal before I can go spurting out things. So this is kind of, it's like water. It's been kind of like flowing and evolving over the years.
Okay, good, Keith. All right. I want to remind everybody, I'm going to have some stuff in our show notes, tell you a little bit more about Keith and what he's doing and ways that you can get in contact with him. Also, you'll find in the show notes, if you're a parent, mentor, or practitioner who loves, cares, or works with young adults in trouble, in transition, in rehabilitation, parenting your child in recovery is an asset that multiplies the results of your evidence-based treatment. So we like to work with practitioners and multiply the results in order to achieve transformation. There'll be notes in there for family members and support people, and notes in there for practitioners who want to join on us. Okay, Keith, we're going to put you up on the soapbox now, and we're going to ask you some questions. I want to get the essence of what you do out so that our listeners can, really get an idea, because I think, to me, this is important, what you do. Keith, the first thing I want to know is, first step, what should a man do to get control of himself? If he feels he's out of control in any way, what would you, as a first step, what would you advise?
That's a great question. It depends on which angle, because there's multifaceted.
Okay.
But I mean, I think it's about understanding yourself, and it's about giving space to yourself. Because again, from my experience and working with other men, we don't fully comprehend when we start losing the control. And we end up in this spiral. And before we can catch the spiral, we're already maybe at some form of addiction, or we're in some dark place where we don't want to be because we haven't caught ourselves.
Okay.
So for me, and what I, again, from my teaching, even from my own learning, it's catching yourself. And it's about, for me, and teaching is like knowing yourself a little better. But if you don't know yourself and you're still a little bit lost, but it's also reaching out.
Okay.
This is what is really important. People don't reach out enough. They don't talk, and they don't know that they may be down, but they don't know how far they're down. They don't feel there is support.
Right.
They feel scared to ask because they feel nobody really understands them. This is quite a big thing. So they don't bother talking. So it's definitely reaching out because there is people who understand. There definitely is.
That makes sense to me. Keith, talk to me about what you consider the mind and body connection, in helping a man make that transition. What's that mind and body connection? Talk about that in respects to what you do and how you do it.
So in the mind and body connection, so let's say we talk about oscillating thoughts, like everyone's got the monkey mind or goes crazy.
Right.
So there's a fine line, that's why I said the mind and the body. When the mind's like going all over the place, the body's going to respond as well. So let's say we've got some form of anxiety. The body's going to start tensing up. We're going to start palpitations, start maybe clammy hands, starting to sweat, lack of breath, tightness in the chest. So this is the body responding to the mind. But 9 times out of 10, people don't listen to the body and they stuck fighting the mind. So it's about trying to bring the harmony about them two together. Because if you can catch the body start reacting, there's a reason maybe your mind started going, your body started to react. So if you can catch that reaction is before you hit the spiral.
Okay.
This is why the mind-body connection is really important. And a lot of even myself over the years, and a lot of people, we're so disconnected now from our body, and we get stuck up in here.
Yeah.
And then we get so intellectualized that we get so stuck up here, then the body starts breaking down. And this can break down, if we've been there years, it can break down into like diseases. It can break down in all different directions. So, and that links into the nervous system. The nervous system is what we want to calm down. If we can calm that down, we can calm the mind down, we can calm the body down. So this is really the essence of the deep work I work with men, is like trying to calm the nervous system.
Okay.
And allow space to calm here. Because when the body is calm, the mind will be calm. And you end up with the peace, what everyone's striving for.
Okay, very good. Talk to me about burnout.
The dreaded burnout.
That's something that for men is typical, whether you're trying to be an overachiever or trying to fight the pressures that you have in your present life. Usually a lot of people reach a stage of burnout, and that's something that I'm sure that you run into with a lot of men that you work with. So tell me about that and ramifications of it, things they could do about it.
Yeah, a lot of people I've noticed don't actually realize they're on the point now, because the life is taking us to a point where everything's wired. Like we've got to provide, we've got to be a man, we've got to pay the bills, we've got to have a job, we've got to have a business, family, boom, 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 boom. So it's like we're consistently on the edge anyway. So most people just feel they're stressed. But when you're at a point where you're stressed, your mind's going crazy, you're not really eating, you're not really sleeping, or even so it gets to the point where you can even wake up in the middle of the night and have a panic attack even though you're not sleeping. So people with burnout, they think they need to take a holiday. And yes, it will get to help, but it's more like because we're not allowing ourselves to calm down. Because even if you take 4 days on holiday, you're calm within 4 days, and then on the 6th day you're starting to go crazy. You've got to go back to work. So it's not the body per se needs the rest; it's the mind needs the rest. And this is what the emotional factor is on burnout. Because it all starts up here, and when it links into society, as men, we do have that pressure of like we need to provide, we need to be this certain way, we need to be a man, we need to be macho, we can't cry, we can't express, or we're seen as bad if we express, or we've got to look after the kids, we've got to pay the bills. I think the societal pressures is always on there. So
Yeah.
the mind is running, and even the body maybe can still go, but the mind's crashes. So you get to a point where you literally, and again, this is from my own experience and from working with people, you're literally just staring into space. Like you literally
Yeah.
get to a point where you can't cope, and just a simple thing like remembering, I don't know, to go pick up some laundry or something, you can forget it.
Right.
And as in all these things you used to be able to do when, I mean, maybe you can relate to this, where you want to do something, but you're so caught up and you're so tired that you completely forget it. And these are the signs of a burnout. When it gets to the point, you can be completely fried. Like you literally forget everything, and you lose. I mean, it gets to the point where you can lose weight, you forget everything, you can't focus. And if you're really that fried, it can take 6 months, a year, or even longer to fully comprehend to come back.
Right.
So it's about trying to. So with the burnout, is when I work with clients, it's about trying to not allow them to get to that point and pull them back, so they can actually realize that and start making time for themselves. Whether it's just spending time with the family if they feel good with that, or having time if they want to go to the gym, or just anything for themselves to slowly recover back.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, Talk to me about and this is sort of off the cuff of what you just said, but you said something that most of us can somewhat identify with. Procrastination, is that basically what you're talking about? One of the things that can happen, and how is that related to some of the things that we do? How does procrastination and just, I guess that's a form of forgetfulness, forgetting what you need or want to do in a sneaky way, forgetting it in the form of not doing it. So talk to me about that.
Yeah, it's a good question. So procrastination, I mean, you can look at it a few different ways, but you get to a point where if your mind body is so disaligned, so your kind of mind's here and your body's there, that you're stuck in the middle of like, I want to go left, but you're forever like kind of weighing up the pros and cons. You want to go right, and you just sit in the middle swirling. And I guess this leads back to, again, it could be the fact like the monkey mind's going absolutely crazy. And it leads back to, again, the burnout things I spoke about, but underneath all, it's the central nervous system. The central nervous system, the way I like to describe it, is we have a traffic light, green, yellow, red. And the central nervous system, if we're ever on red, then we're kind of like stuck in the mud, like churning, like we're wheel spinning. And this is where the procrastination comes from.
Right.
And then if we can go down to yellow or green, then without procrastination, we can be like, okay, I can make that choice and I go that way now. So this is, again, it's, as I said, it's multi-level and all interlinks into the mind-body aspect.
Okay, Keith. Keith, in your opinion, and I know there's a million reasons for this, but in your opinion, and in respect to what you do, why are men so messed up and angry? What's happening to us? We know it's a lot, but in your opinion, what is it?
I think it's over the years, of course, parental situations can be things, bullying can be things, childhood trauma can be things. But I think it comes down to a lot. We've not been ever been given space to be able to. I mean, yes, we have our friends, but it's all like the bro-y things. It's not really what you need. It's like the space is like a men's circle. It's similar to like a woman's circle where you have time to talk and express. We don't have that. I mean, you have your friends, but it doesn't go that deep. And I think a lot of it also is down to connection as well. Having someone who actually speaks to you, you speak to them and they actually understand you. Because a lot of men, they don't want to talk if they believe you don't understand. And they don't want to express because they don't want to be seen as weak or like, get a tap on the back when you're going to be okay. Like, it's like, I want someone to listen to me and understand me.
Right.
But it really comes back to they don't want to talk if they don't fully feel seen. So again, I feel, in my opinion, it's connection, to be seen, to be heard, and to feel fully, to be vulnerable within like a safe container. And you could say safety is another one as well.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Keith, let me ask you something. The most of the men that you talk to, does it take them a while to come around to you getting them to try to open up, or do a certain percentage of them relish the opportunity to open up?
Yeah, it's a very good question. Again, it comes down to personality. From some of the men's circles I've run, some people they want to just get it out, and they feel they need to, and they feel safe within the environment. Other men, they need a bit more. They need a bit more time to feel safe within a group, and other times, more they need like the one-to-one. Like I've had a men's circle, and then I can see one of them's not speaking, and I message him, and then he opens up to me privately. So I think it's allowing that space for them, and everyone needs to feel safe within that, because I know if they don't feel safe within a group or within themselves, or they still don't feel seen or heard, and a group may be a bit of a difficult situation. So usually for me, I just relate to them from my experience and just chat to them like I'm actually a friend. I'm not there to try and hammer them, I'm there to actually speak to them and see them and hear them.
Okay. All right, everybody. Remember, in the show notes, we're going to give you some opportunity to find Keith and see some of his projects, and get in touch with him. As usual, this is the type of subject for me that you really want to just get at least one man to open up. Us men, we have to stick together. We are sometimes our own worst enemies. And it's not necessarily our fault. We've got a lot of socialization going on, but this is something that I feel, though, is very important. Also, remember, if you are the parent, mentor, or practitioner who loves, cares, or works with a young adult, could be at risk, could be in trouble, could be in a rehabilitation situation, parenting your child in recovery is a non-clinical modality that multiplies the results of your current evidence-based help assistance. So if you are a parent or a loved one, go there. There's information for you, and there's also information for practitioners that want to work with us. Okay, Keith, I want to talk to you about the projects and what you do. First of all, tell me about the Wholistic Brotherhood. Talk to me about it. Talk the program.
So the Wholistic Brotherhood it come from my own experiences, my own life, and all my education. So it's basically about helping men overcome burnout, overcome stressful situations, help center their nervous system, and bring people together in men's circles, hopefully in retreats, hopefully next year, and one-to-one coaching online. So it's a multifaceted thing, and as I said, the main aim is my purpose, let's say, is to help one person. If I can help one person, I know I've made a difference to one man, that's snowball, and then hopefully that person can help another one, and so on.
That's good. Where can they? We'll get to that in the context, but do you meet at any type of forum? Do you do lives? What does that look like? An individual getting in touch with you? What does that look like?
So
ideally,
they can reach out to me on socials: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. If they just need a space to chat, I'm completely open. If they do need a bit more support, I do have a WhatsApp support group of a close-knit of men who support each other going through multiple different things. So I do have a support network. Anyone's more than welcome to come in and join if they need to just have a place to speak and breathe and just air what they need to be. Because again, it's having space to talk. And again, with the men, they're all on their own journey in some way, shape, or form, and they will support each other.
Okay, that sounds good. You've mentioned this a few times, but clarify for me. Men's circles. What exactly is that? Now, so you also have something called a mini circle. So is that a one-on-one? Talk to me about, give me an idea of what I'm looking at if I see a men's circle.
Okay, so that's a good question because a lot of people don't really have a clue. So men's circle, the way I take it, because it's slightly different person to person. But it's basically as it says, a safe space of men, anywhere between 5, 10 to 15, not a huge amount, but enough to feel safe. And we come together as a group, and then we usually it's about an hour and a half. Everyone's a little different. We do some breathing to kind of calm the nervous system, maybe some movement. And then once that's kind of everyone's kind of a little more centered, a little calmer, and then we open the space. So by opening the space is allowing whoever in the group to express what they need to express. And that can be anything. It can come from just kind of what's been struggling with through the day, or it could be something really deep. And then from there, we don't offer advice, but we allow it to express, and we allow it to ask questions to further the understanding. And from this, it really, because again, when you're speaking, someone's expressing their story, expressing something, there is 9 times out of 10, someone within the circle will have some form of relatability. And then they start asking questions, they start observing their own thoughts, and it allows space. And there's been once you finish, you can see the change and they feel released. Some people do cry in there. Some, again, it's to once they've come out of it, it connects those people on a deeper level. And this is what I talked about connection before. It's feeling like you're being seen, heard, and actually that you can just reach out and speak to someone, they understand you. And it's like, even though you've got your friends, it's like another level of deepness, that someone truly understands what you've been through. And this is the essence of what a men's circle is for me anyway. And this is what I work with.
Okay. All right. Keith, talk to me. I got the essence of what you do and what you talk about. Are you also a trainer? Also, is there some physical component to this? Is that for everyone, or just some people? Is any physicality in this? Men, we like to have some boom boom in there.
Yeah. As the retreats I'm working on for next year, there will be a whole thing. So it's not just about breathing. It's not just about connection to men's circles. There is movement as well, because there is definitely, this is one thing I've very pinpointed down with men. We need routine, and we need to move in some way, shape, or form. So the movement is super important for men, because if they can't seem to move, they get that pent up energy, and that's also which leads to a lot of the stress and anger and everything what they can't hold in. So movement is a critical part of it. As well as nutrition, as well as different breathing techniques. So it's a whole multifaceted thing I work with.
Okay, so in your program, you also can be labeled a personal trainer also, if possible, if needed?
Yes, I can. When I speak to the person or the client who's reaching out to me, it really did. That's why I have the little mini circle, I call it. The mini circle is like a little one-to-one, which I do for free for 30 minutes. And generally I just give them space. I do some breathing techniques, usually to calm them down, because where they need. Yeah. And I allow them and open the space and allow them to talk. And I just listen. And depending on kind of what I feel maybe is the first point of contact they need, is then kind of where I personalize it. Of course, if someone's coming to me, just want to lose weight, I'm like, generally they're going to come with a bit of a deeper thing. But again, this can link to needing to lose weight, because it's linking into their mental health, because they're not feeling confident, they're feeling depressed, and it can go down these roads. So this is when I start customizing it and making it more personal to them.
Excellent. I want to get to the music part. Talk to me about that. What are you doing? I briefly talked on it. I deliberately didn't go into it because I wanted to hear it during the show. What exactly do you do with that?
So with the music, I wanted to kind of niche it even a little harder, because obviously, with coming from my background and growing up, music was always a savior for me. Coming from my traumatic upbringing, without music, I don't think I would have survived a certain point, because it used to keep me safe. So as I've grown with it, the music's come along with me. and also realized again from being in these communities, because when I was younger, this was a community that partly saved me. So how it holds dear to my heart. So now, as I say, as I come through, I try and talk about some of my experience and express so people can relate. So the things I come from, the songs that saved me and saved some of my mental health space, or even allowed me to understand myself better. So this is how the music's how it's helped me. And I know within the communities and the people within that area of the music, there is a lot of people talking about mental health as well. Yeah. So it's something, again, what's very close to my heart, and it's something maybe it's not for everyone, but it's something what's also very relatable.
Okay. You said it was AI driven?
Yeah, I've made some songs based on all my experiences, and I've built the music just by AI. Unfortunately, I can play drums, not very well though, but okay. So I built the AI music, but all the lyrics come from my deeper inner self, and the song I released actually come out about on the 4th of this month. It's called Picture on the Wall, and it talks about the loss of someone who's literally weren't there once and then they're gone, like had an accident and then they're gone. You don't get to say goodbye. So this is something I really struggled with when I was younger, when my dad had an accident. I was so young then, I was only 16, I didn't really understand. I didn't get a chance to say goodbye, and then he was gone. So it's taken me a long while to fully comprehend everything. So I've actually written a whole EP based on everything and all my emotions around it. And there's a lot of I've written a lot of other music and lyrics as well around a lot of the trauma I've been through, and some of the aspects like my drink and drug phase and why I was going through all of this, and what was the deep-rooted cause under all this. There's some other albums I've written which are a lot darker as well, and going into like me fighting myself. As I called one song was called Unconscious Me, where I'm like angry just at myself and my past because I didn't understand myself. So this from the stuff I write is from one, my real world experiences, and two, it also allows me to express in a way that maybe I've never had the chance to. And in that aspect, it's also for something I want someone else out there to be able to understand, and maybe it helps someone out there as well. So I'm doing it for me, but also trying to help people as well.
Okay, very, very good. Keith, I want to thank you for coming on and talking about this. In my mind, you were in the recovery mode, because I make it clear to people that when I'm talking about recovery, I'm not always just talking about drugs and alcohol. We have to, sometimes we're hurt by so many things, or slowed or nicked, as I like to call it, and we need to get better somehow. And I think that what you're doing is definitely helping men get better. So I applaud you for that. I really do. And I'm interested in the movie. Hope I can talk you into letting me getting something in the show notes that lets the people know and hear what you're doing. Maybe we can work something out. I want the people to be able to hear and see what you're doing. I find it fascinating. So
thank you.
That too. So again, thank you for coming on today. Thank you for coming on the Soapbox. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you for having me. It's been great.
It was great. For myself and Keith, I want to remind everybody in closing, let's remember to get out there and help somebody get better, help somebody stay better, and most importantly, let's help somebody be better. Thank you. Goodbye.